Hey guys, Captain C.A. Richardson here with Flats Class YouTube. Today I want to show you guys kind of around one of my tackle boxes. I like to set my tackle boxes up per trip. I know that seems a little weird, but for me there's always a mission, whether it's a television show or a YouTube episode like this one, or I'm just targeting a specific species. But I wanted to put kind of an all-around box together so you guys could see how I do it, because the biggest problem I have is finding tackle bags that don't fall apart after 1 year. I mean, the zippers go, they start to snap off, the tabs snap off, the sun fades them and breaks them down. Well, in short, I've never found one that didn't suck. I mean, really suck. So what I started doing this past year is just using my Yeti gear. I typically use my Yeti Flip if I have a travel bag, and there's a video for that, but it's not this one. But I like using those loadout go boxes, especially if I'm going to go put it in the Marquesa. So I was out here today screwing around, and you can see, I'll switch it over here in a second. I started working on these coolers because I wanted to customize these coolers. So I put brand new T-handles on them and some logos, and I turned regular white Yeti Tundras into something that looks a little bit better, and I'm getting ready to put some decals on it. Let me show you. This episode of Flats Class YouTube is brought to you by Aquatraction, your go-to solution for advanced marine flooring. All right, it's end of day because I got back from the Capitol. I was up there in Tallahassee doing stuff for Captains for Clean Water, but I bought these new T-handles and custom colored logo decals while I was in Charleston at the Yeti store. Even got some rope handles in colors as well. And I like having these for my skiffs. It gives me a chance not only to show off my Yetis. I'm getting ready to put that sticker on the face of that one, and naturally, or vice versa, and that sodium sticker down there, orange on that particular one, and really dress these up so I can use them in classes and things like that. But let me walk you over to my go box. This is a tackle box for me. It's compact. I can strap it down on the boat if I need to with these slots. It's got locking handles here that are super tough. I mean, this is a tough box. A grown man, 250 pounds, can stand on this. It's not going to suffer a bit. And then let's go through what's inside of it next. Guys, I apologize for the crappy lighting out here. It's terrible. End of day, like I said. Anyhow, what's neat about these loadout 30 go boxes is there's a lot of room in them, and like I said, they're ballistic tough. I mean, there's nothing going to break down on it. It has plastic latches, so when you shut them down, they're not coming back open. You don't have zippers or anything to worry about it, and they're waterproof inside. The whole thing is waterproof because there's a gasket here that goes all the way around. Now, they've got a little pack up here that you can put stuff in, and we'll go through what I typically put into that. But let me bring you over here and start breaking down the inside of the box, because that's probably what you want to know about, because that's most of my tackle. So an all-around system for tackle. And I've tried to pull things out a little bit so that you can see them a little bit better, but they go in here nice and clean, and I don't have to worry about this thing ever rotting. So let me bring you in here real tight and show you what I've got going on. Right, I'm going to shoot this a little wide. Again, we've got the reinforced ballistic style latches. These are not going to be like snaps. They're not going to be the kind that pop off like you'd see on a lesser cooler material. We've got these lockable spots here that you can put a hasp in. They can't saw through them. There's little stainless rings in here. Slots for drink accessories like cup holders and whatnot. If you got this sitting up on it, you could probably even put one of those rod holders. They've got great hinges here in the back, just like they do on the cooler. So this thing's not going to wear out over time. It's tough. And like I said, you can put a big guy up on top of this box and use it as a step up to the main deck if you want to. They also have this pack attic up here that you can stuff full of stuff, and I'll show you what I put in it. They've got a divider here, which you can use if you want to or not, if you have bigger boxes that you want to lay in the bottom of this thing. Some guys like to use like the 3700 series. I don't use boxes that big for this, but you could. And then they have the caddy here, and underneath that caddy I have a couple of small 3600 boxes that have like terminal tackle in it, and that one has a couple of big trout plugs. It's that time of year when the trout are out. In the caddy itself, for me, I've got leader here. I keep a lot of little tools here, like pliers. I got split ring pliers in here if I want to change hooks out. Boomerang stuff. This boomerang little clipper here, it's a badass little tool. I'm telling you right now, you can clip stuff really tight with it. They hold up, they're sharp, and they're great for braid. Believe it or not, I still have a hook file. I always use a hook file. And then I threw a little scent in that side. And you never know. It's tough sometimes. Here is usually where I throw about half a dozen baits or so in this front part of the caddy. They're usually baits I'm going to feature in a YouTube video or something like that, or for television, or just want to try them out with a regular client. I've got it looks like the C31 swim bait in there from Mirror. I've got the Tidal Surge Maniac mullet, and it looks like I've got a little bugs here that I'm going to do something with. Again, when we come back over to this side, I've got 2 folders here loaded with Z-Man soft baits in both of these. I like to keep extra reels, guys. You never know when you're going to have a malfunction, or in this case, this is a 4,000 reel because most of my rods have 3,000s. If I run into a situation where I want to fish docks or mangroves or something, I like to keep a 4,000 in the box. I usually keep an extra bait caster because when I'm in the small skiff or whatever and I don't have as many rods, it's nice to have an extra bait caster, and it looks like this one might have had an issue and we had to cut some line off it, so it probably needs to be replaced. And then you're probably wondering what this is. Well, I actually use this with that spool. I put it through there and I hook it up to my box or something on the boat, and that way I can spool line when I'm in the field. It's a really nice deal. Now up here in the upper level, I keep these little waterproof notepads. You can write on them. It doesn't matter what the weather is. They're great for keeping track of clips when you're doing YouTube videos, or even if you just want to keep a log on how you're doing with baits. So I keep that for television and for YouTube. What else have I got in here? Usually keep some GoPro batteries in that pocket as well. I like these cords. I usually buy the cheaper cords that are longer. I do it for charging cameras, charging iPhones, charging GoPros, things like that. And the longer ones allow me to still use the camera, if you will, even if it has to be plugged in. This one looks like I got sun protection. I got an extra buff. Extra fish monkey gloves, and it looks like I got a little bit of sunscreen in here, so that's all good stuff. And then in the top pocket, looks like I've got my chesty GoPro in there. What else do I got in here? Extra pair of sunglasses, which that always comes in handy, especially when I have a guest wearing a competitor's pair of sunglasses, and I said, you want to put a real pair on? What else I got in here? Felt like I had the batteries up there for the GoPro, but these big Larry flashlights are pretty dang handy. I'm telling you what, man, these things are bright as hell. And if you're out there in the dark and you need a light to get in, these things are almost good enough to use like a spotlight to get in on a skiff when you absolutely have to. But overall, I'm super happy with this box. Does a great job for me. I know I'm never going to have any rotting issues, any corrosion issues. It's watertight, and it just gets me past the frustration of having to buy a tackle bag or a tackle box every year. Now let's wrap it up. So, if you're looking for something that's going to last, something that you can use for cargo storage, you can use this for a variety of things. A lot of my buddies, and when I first got this one and my loadout bucket, I had one set up for truck tools, and I had the other one set up for, just moving around the ranch house here tools, and it was great. And those are in the khaki color. I keep them around, and they look like hell now. But these I keep on the boat. They're white. They don't get too hot, so I don't got to worry about the plastics getting hot inside. And typically, over time, I'll probably end up sticker bombing this thing if it ends up getting a little bit dinged here and there from sliding around or being thrown in the back of this, you know, GMC pickup truck. But if you're looking for something that's absolutely, positively bulletproof, consider the Yeti Loadout Box 30. It's what I like to use. I think if you're frustrated with those typical tackle bags that you're paying somewhere between $75 and $150 for, and they're only lasting a year or two, and they look like hell, and you can't open half the zippers, and you end up taking a knife to them, I think you're going to find this is worth the spend. All right, till next time. Captain C.A. Richardson from Flats Class YouTube, signing off. Hey, don't forget to subscribe and tell everybody about this kind of stuff. I'm trying to help you guys.